3, 2, 1, go!
Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to an anime review. I have not done one for you guys in a long time, and I'm sorry for that. Obviously, doing episodic reviews already takes enough time as it is when I do the few I do. I think, well, actually, right now it's only Sword Art a lot I've been doing, and even with Sword Art, I'm like an episode behind, unfortunately. I have to keep playing catch up. And I'm starting to think that doing episodic reviews is kind of a little difficult for my schedule, unfortunately, or I have to just figure out different days I have to do it. But I still want to do reviews for you guys. I know I don't have the big following I used to have. I really never had a huge following, but I did do usually a lot better in my videos. They've kind of fallen in terms of view counts. It's because obviously with YouTube, once you're not active as much, they rightly put you into this like side bin of, yeah, some people still see it, but not a lot of people, unfortunately. And it is what it is. What can you do? You know, YouTube's always been a thing for me that I'm not focused on, obviously. And I always say that, but I have to remind people because I have a lot of people saying they wish me to do more reviews, and I'm like, I just can't. I don't have the time, unfortunately. But there are several shows that I've watched in the 2018 season of, well, more so the 2018 winter season, that I really wanted to bring you guys. One of them is today's review, and that is, by the way, I'm keeping Mal open because I need to be able to see the title, how long it is. It's Seishun Buta Yarou wa Bunny Girl Senpai no Yume wo Minai, or Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, I believe, or something like that. It's both titles are kind of just out there. The English title, I don't know why they decided that was a good title for it. I've actually shortened this whole show down to, when I talk to people on Twitter about it, I always say Bunny Girl Senpai, and that's what I'm going to do for the review. I'm not going to say it the whole damn title every single time I'm talking. That would take me an hour. I don't feel like doing that. So, Bunny Girl Senpai is a supernatural romance comedy with drama elements to it. It follows a young man named Sakuto, who, for the most part, is a normal guy. It seems like there's some mysterious things to him, but, he seems very down to earth, very laid back, very relaxed, like just any other typical high schooler. He ends up running into a library and then seeing a girl dressed in a full Playboy bunny girl outfit. No one else seems to be noticing this girl. She's like waving her hands in front of people. She's like basically flaunting herself in this very revealing outfit. No one's paying any mind to her. And you find out later on that's because she is going through something called Puberty Syndrome, aka this weird kind of supernatural thing about this whole show, where some characters go through this thing where random weirdness things happen to them. It's kind of hard to explain in terms of without spoiling the whole thing, but it's kind of like, for example, the main girl, her name is Mai Sakurajima. Her puberty syndrome is the fact that she's turning invisible to a lot of people and almost like becoming non-existent, because one of her fears was that she would become invisible, as she was a rising star, a rising actress who would do commercials, who would do TV shows, etc. But as time went by, she was always kind of paranoid that if she stopped doing shows, if she stopped like appealing to certain people, appealing to the audience, people would stop recognizing her. And it starts happening where she starts going to certain places and no one's able to see her. For example, the library, no one's able to see her there. And it starts spreading out as the first couple episodes go. Now, my story is resolved within 3 episodes because, as you learn in Bunny Girl Senpai, this is a story with multiple arcs. This anime has 13 episodes, and instead of just doing one girl the whole time, it's actually splitting it between several different girls that are going through various struggles. In terms of the light novel, which this series is based off of, the light novels do something very similar, where every light novel focuses on primarily one girl and then tells the whole story from that perspective, and like what's going on with that girl, what syndrome she's going through, why she's going through it, then the resolution of that. I believe there's like maybe 9 or 10 light novels out right now. I might be completely wrong with that, but I believe there's a decent amount regardless out. And I know with the series, like I said, it's like 13 episodes, but there is a movie planned for 2019. If you haven't seen that, it was announced about maybe like a little while back, which I'm happy about, because the series does kind of end on a unfinished note. It's not that it's like, oh, you can't watch it or it's not going to end very well. It just ends on you could keep going with it. And I really dislike that one element of the show. That's probably my only biggest complaint about Rascal Bunny Girl Senpai. Or, why did I put it the whole thing? Bunny Girl Senpai. I put Rascal because one of the things, by the way, the show loves to do, and it's actually from the Japanese dub for it. It does say Rascal, like the main character is considered a rascal. Even though I feel like that's a weird thing to call him for the sheer fact that there are many characters that are very similar to him. Sakura is not per se the most I want to say unique main character. I don't dislike him. I actually think he's a really cool guy in the show, but I've seen other characters like him, and I'm like, by definition, does that mean every main character technically for like a ecchi type show or a romance rom com is considered a rascal? I don't know. I find that a little strange, but it is what it is. But the thing is that the show does a lot more right than wrong. First thing, animation wise, it is very, very nice visually. I love the character designs. I love just the overall world. They do a very strong amount of detail with backgrounds, environments, settings, and places like that. There are some times where it feels a little weaker, like for example the running animations and stuff like that. If you really pay attention to it, it kind of can be annoying because you see characters running in place like the older days. And I understand that running is one of those things that still hasn't been perfected in anime. I mean, you see it more often than not, but it's not done perfectly. And with some shows, depending on the concept, it can look better than others. I know it's a small minor gripe, and I'm not trying to nitpick. It's not like I'm going to take away hundreds of points for the show in my mind. It's just a small minor thing. But animation besides that is beautiful. I really do. I love the characters and stuff like that. Besides that, I love the music. I think the music's very nice. I love the opening and closing. Both of them are fantastic. I love also how the ending song always changes the girl who's involved with that arc. Because like I said before, each arc is a different girl. Each arc focuses on a different syndrome. And what's cool about that is you have this thing where the main girl for the credits will change to represent the girl that's being focused on in that particular arc. It's really nice. But it fits the show so well. Like both the opening and closing just fit. They feel like they're perfect for it. And I don't know why that is, because they're really not like spectacular openings and closings. They're good. I like them a lot. I can re-listen to them multiple times. But the thing is like they're not perfect. They just fit with the show. I don't know if that makes sense in a way, but it's just how I feel with the show. In terms of story, in terms of the characters and the arcs and all that, everything works pretty well. I really loved every single arc. Every single new girl was pretty strong for the most part. The exception comes with the blonde hair girl, who's my sister. You later learn about. There's a thing where they switch bodies with one another, and it's only like 3 episodes, maybe 2. But the thing is that probably for me that was a weaker arc. It wasn't as weak as any other one. It was still very good. I just felt it was the weaker moment because I really didn't care about my sister that much, and I feel like she wasn't fleshed out as much as some of the other characters. Like, for example, Rio Futaba is a character who, by the way, I love. She's like my main favorite girl. I find it funny that now there's 2 Futabas I like. I like Futaba from Persona 5, and now I like Futaba from Rascal. But the thing is that she's just hot, like in general. I love her smart attitude and everything about that. Besides the point, though, getting off topic with that, like Rio, when they go through her arc and her story, it feels very fleshed out. It feels like it's focused. Her character's really, just in general, have been thrown into the series very well, to the point that you care about her already before her arc even starts. And that's one thing that I'm like, that's a good way of doing it. My sister is just thrown into the mix. Like, you hear about her very early on in the series. You hear about her maybe like the first or second episode that, Mai has a sister, but you never really see her. You see a small amount of times where she does pop up in the show. Like she shows up in a TV TV interview type thing at one point, and there's another time she pops up too. I think it's during commercial type thing, but it's not anything big or fantastic. It's always just small little shots. I think really realistically she shows up only in that TV. Maybe the commercial was their sister I'm thinking of. But aside from that, her arc is the weakest one. Every other arc is really strong. Hers is, it's good. It's just not perfect. Now, what I want to talk about, though, what I think was probably also my biggest complaint about the whole show was the ending itself. So, if you guys don't know, I don't know if I said it in this take because this is my 3rd take of this review, but if in case I didn't, there is going to be a movie for Bunny Girl Senpai. It's coming out, I believe, next year, sometime within, I think, the spring. So, probably realistically, when we actually get to finally see it, it'll probably be midway through the year. It'll probably be even later than that because, it has to be subtitled and all that. So, you'd have to wait some time, unfortunately, for it. The way Bunny Girl Senpai ends is very, I want to say, it makes it where you need to watch the movie now, because while the series ends on a note that's like, oh, it's cute, it's not completed. It doesn't feel completed. It feels like there's still a lot more to tell, a lot more story to go to. And while that's not a horrible thing, it's not like, oh, I can't stand it, or I feel like the show should get a lot of points taken away from it. It makes it where I almost feel like it's too reliant on the fact that the movie's coming out. Like, for Japanese viewers, obviously, you guys get to watch the movie in a lot earlier time than we do as American viewers, or even anywhere else in the world. And what kind of sucks about that is that means that we don't get this conclusion that, like, within a time that feels like it's only a few months. It feels like it's going to be probably a year before we really even get the movie to our side to watch. and I have issues with that. I feel like that was a kind of, I want to say unnecessary thing, because like any show that I watch, even if it has movies attached to it, even if there's like a movie planned for it in the future, it should have this thing where it ends clearly on a note that's like, okay, say you don't watch the movie, or say you don't see the movie for a while, you don't need to. You know, like, for example, Love Chinubu and Other Delusion, as I always say, by the way, I have horrible things saying about Chinubi, or whatever. I can never say that word. I know people always give me crap for that. I'm sorry, it's a word I cannot say. But, you know, the show that's about people who, like, have that weird power that they think when they're teenagers or young kids, they always feel like they're superheroes or magic users or whatever, and then when they get older, they, you know, realize, hey, that's all in our past. That was a great romance comedy. The movie came out for it, and it concluded the series on a good note. But the second season, did a good job also of making where, you know, you didn't need to see the movie right away. You can feel like, okay, well, I hope there's a movie for it. I hope there's more to it. But it's okay how it is. It just ended on a decent note. You know, you didn't get the kiss you wanted per se until the movie, or you know, maybe it does happen, maybe not. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything. Maybe I didn't spoil anything just now. But anyways, I'm sorry if I did spoil anything. You get this nice conclusion that feels like, okay, I'm okay with what I got. Bunny Girl Senpai, you get meh conclusion. You get this like, oh man, I know there's gonna be a movie. You know, I know there's gonna be more to it, because there's just ends. It feels like it just ends on a cutesy note, but not a concluding note. And that's my biggest gripe with it. But overall, Bunny Girl Senpai was a real treat to watch. I actually binged the crap out of this show. Like, for me at least, I watched the first like 4 episodes in one day. I watched the next like 5 the next day, and then I finally caught up with it. So I was only watching, you know, I was watching it weekly for a little bit. I watched only 2 episodes or 1 episode weekly. I think it was like 1 or 2 episodes, but regardless, I caught up with it really fast because it's a great show. It's just a lot of fun to watch. I love the stories again, and I love the whole theme of it. I think it does a really good job with that, and the romance in it's not bad. It really is well done. It feels very like genuine. Like, these are characters that they clearly love each other. They do have some problems with one another. Still trying to work out the distance because, you know, she's an actress, so she always has to go far away, and, you know, he's kind of he's really good at getting with other girls whether he wants to or not. It's not like he's doing it on purpose, but he does tend to help girls only, it seems like, more than guys. You know, so it's like she gets a little jealous of that sometimes, even though she doesn't want to admit it. She always says, oh, it's like, I'm not jealous. You clearly are. But the show overall was really great. So that's why if I had to rate Bunny Girl Senpai, like I said, I don't want to say the whole title. If I had to rate Bunny Girl Senpai from an A through F, I'm going to give it a B+. I think the show was really well done. You know, like I said, the ending was kind of meh to me, and the one arc was kind of weak. So I don't want to give it an A-, but I'll give it a B+. Anyways, what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I love hearing from you guys. So I will talk to you guys later. If you like my content, please think about subscribing. Check out my Patreon for various rewards. I always tell people that my Patreon goes to other YouTubers and other media creators, cosplayers, etc. I don't really use it for myself, but it helps. You know, it helps them too in the process. So and ultimately, if I get more than what I try to give out, it'll help me get like a thing of coffee or something like that every month. Whatever. But I'll talk to you guys later. God bless you all. Until I pass across again in the next review. Have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.